My last name is Siebenthal. That stands for Tal, the valley, seven, Sieben. That means the valley of the seven. Yes, I consider myself still a banker. It's my vocation. I used to be a banker in the official debt system with interest, and now I'm in the system without interest and without the debt system as it is now in most of the countries. Yes, the transition from one world to the other was due to some ethical reasons. The debt system based on the interest rate is a bad system, and it's really literally killing the poor, the hungry people all over the world. You have less and less very rich people and more very poor people, and the trend is due to the system. It's really a system based on sins and lies. Because effectively, Swiss banks have a very big impact all over the world. And sometimes a Swiss banker can whisper very little soft words, and this has impacts all over the world in a very strong manner. For example, if some Swiss bankers decide to go against or for a company supporting the shares or supporting the market or supporting a money or a currency, this can lead to either massive employment or massive unemployment in some sectors. But some decision taken softly and whispering in the office or at the phone can lead to thousands of employees fired somewhere in the world. And it's not only the case for the Swiss banks, it's the case for the American banks or the English banks. And sometimes those people are looking only for the short-term profits, for the balance sheet. And it's nice for the shares, it's nice for the bonuses, it's nice for the salaries, it's nice for the greed of the self, but it's not good for the mankind. You have, the pressure is so strong that, and there are strange pressure too. They ask you to join secret societies like the Freemasons, or they invite you in very strange ceremonies when, for instance, the organizer of the ceremony is organizing a mass at midnight. They call that midnight mass. And he has put his own daughter on the table as an offering. And they were singing horrible songs about this girl. It was his own daughter. And they treat human beings worse than animals. They were a song with treating her like a pig. And you have to go through very strange steps in those secret societies to climb and to have more powers. And they offer you this as a way to climb the society, but it's really horrible. And you cannot be a Christian and do this.
Did you witness this yourself, or is this just what you've heard?
No, I was there. And I quitted the place. It was at midnight. It was the midnight mass. They call that the midnight mass. It's really a mockery of Catholicism. And I left the room with my friends. I told my friends, get out of this. It will become worse and worse. And the organizer, one of the organizers, ran after me and asking me, François, stay, you will see, it's very important for your life. Stay with us. I don't like to judge others people. But I met people, they are happy to see other people sad. They are happy to see other people in bad conditions. They take like a sexual pleasure, even maybe stronger, to see the other people in troubles. And I'm sad to say that in business you can meet people like this. I even met somebody who was going to Red China to assist to killing of people, and he had pleasure to see the execution of a human being alive. And he was so happy he was saying, you see, the Chinese are very clever. They kill the people, but the bullet to kill has to be paid by the family. And he was happy to the last detail. He was enjoying himself. And there are people sick in their mind, happy to make the others sad. I think that the money masters are willing to destroy the nations. The taxes, because of the debt interest, because of the creation of money out of nothing, because of the compound interest and so on, you pay the taxes to pay the bankers. And the burden is heavier and heavier in France, in Germany, in England, all over Europe, all over the world, in the United States. And the IRS is making pressure all over the world to all American citizens because they pay first the bankers. But all those amounts, those contracts based on an unequal contract, compound interest, impossible contracts, legally, an impossible contract is null and void. And all those contracts, you have to pay taxes to pay the bankers taking benefits of the whole population except Switzerland. But now they want to destroy Switzerland, and they have destroying mostly the nations of Europe. When you see the President of France, he has no power. He cannot create money for his own country. He has to ask the Central Bank of Europe at interest. In fact, he has not any more power, real power, all those ministers. The real power is in the hands of the bankers, the money masters. And most of the bankers, they don't even realize really that. It's only the top guys, the money masters. They are not so many. But they rule the whole world because the whole world is obeying bad laws. But the people ruling the banks, ruling the financial system, ruling the politics, they want scarcity because they want the price higher and higher and higher. They don't like this abundance. And they plan scarcity. And in Europe, for instance, the EEC, Switzerland refused to join the EEC, the common market, the European Union. They have a very bad politics where they pay the peasant not to produce. They pay the peasant to destroy food. We have a massive overproduction of hundreds of thousands of even millions of tons of food. We throw those millions of tons of food at the sea or in the rivers. We put alive animal in holes. We dig in Europe, they dig big holes. They put the alive animals in the holes and they pull the soil over the alive animals to kill them. Because the meat, they want to have the price of the meat higher. And they put chemistry, they put pesticide, they put a lot of chemicals in the food. They made the food bad and people become sick of cancer, of diabetes and various sicknesses. Because the system wants to have the people sad, sick, in bad shape, employed for very early in the morning up to very late in the night. The man has to work, the woman has to work. Now they are planning austerity. Every country in Europe, they have to cut in the budgets, they cut in the health system, they cut everywhere because they say there is no money. But it's completely crazy. Money has to be only a symbol. It's a means to exchange goods. You have plenty of goods to destroy the goods, and then you put the people to work from very early to very late. They cannot take care of the children. They cannot have anymore have a sexual life correct, a marital life, a family life. It's completely crazy. And they have a puppet, and they say, oh, austerity, cut budget, there is not enough money. And the people believe this big lie. It's a collection of lies, one after the other. And now we have robots, we have machines, we have computers, we have electricity. What do we do with this productivity? Where this productivity is going? A German economist made a study. If you don't have the interest rate in the economy, You save at least 3 hours every day for every citizen. You have your flat or your house 77% bigger. Everything costs nearly half the prices, and so on, just because of the interest rate. If you cut the cost of the interest rate, compound interest, if you cut the cost of the money creation out of nothing, which is directed to very bad businesses in porno industry, in bad movies, in mass media control, in buying and destroying third world countries, in putting third world countries in hunger, in putting scarcity, high prices, destroyed house, the subprime problem in the United States. You have millions of Americans in bad conditions. If you see a Christian society where you put the resurrection of Christ, the joy of Christ in economy, you cut the interest rate system, you suppress, as I told you, you have at least 3 hours more every day for every person. You have your flat bigger. You have your cost half the price. You have an economy booming. You don't have any more people without income, because with the dividend, you give income to the people, and the people invent their own business, invent their own job, or they can spend time with the children or with the wife, of writing books, painting, making music, searching, inventing, patenting, traveling. We could have a civilization, a Christian civilization, thanks to the robots. You know, you can imagine a world now where everything is done by robots. Then let's imagine everything is done by robots. That means human beings have no more jobs. That means they have no more wages. That means they have no more incomes. What for? You have the robots producing cars, watches, computers automatically. You have plenty of goods, but you have people without any income. It's completely crazy. Then you have two solutions. Either you give a dividend, that means a ticket, a way to buy the goods, to obtain the goods of the robots, or you have a war. And the big sharks, the money masters, they are planning a world war now. They plan wars